The Edmonton Oilers are in the Stanley Cup Final yet again, but are any Canadians making the trip to Florida? Hey everyone, Rob Wong, pleased to be joined by Postmedia features writer Stephen Sandor, who is in Sunrise, Florida, keeping an eye on everything going on around the Stanley Cup Final. And Stephen, I don't have to tell you and our viewers as well, lots of things going on when it comes to Canadian and American relations these days. And when it comes to the battle on the ice, it's been a good one so far between the Panthers and the Oilers. We know last year there were a bunch of Canadian Oilers fans that made the trip to Florida for Game 7, and the outcome was not what they expected. But from what you've been able to gather for the last couple of days here, have many Canadians made the trip to Sunrise to check out their favorite team?
Certainly there are some, but generally most of the people I have seen on the street who are wearing Oilers colors are not from Canada. They are fans from other countries. I met an Australian this morning. There's a story about him this morning. Made the voyage from Australia to Sunrise and then is getting on a plane to be in Edmonton for Game 5. So there's a guy, if we talk about the mileage the media and the teams have had to put on, we got nothing on him. His name is Shane Pask, and he came all the way from Australia. So our air miles have nothing on him. I just met a father and son. A father is from Edmonton. Son moved to Florida a few years ago. They are cheering for rival teams. Wearing each son is a Cats fan. Father's an Oilers fan. But really, there is some Edmonton presence here. But everyone's telling me it's not what it was last time. And even before I left, I did a story calling travel agents and such in Edmonton, and they said it's going to be about half of what the interest last year, and that there is this Trump factor. Not that anyone in Florida is noticing, because this state is setting record tourism numbers from people from other places, and they don't miss us at all.
No, absolutely. People are going to head to Florida whether there's hockey being played or not. We know how rabid the fans are in Canada. I mean, I think we've seen these games in Edmonton in these playoffs, just how impressive the fans have been wearing jerseys all around the arena, the excitement outside the arena, of course. But what is hockey atmosphere for playoff hockey in Florida at this time of year?
It's funny, the Metro Miami area is 6.5 million. So, it's comparable to Metro Toronto. But it's very segmented and very different. You go to downtown Miami, where the population, according to the U.S. Census, is almost 3/4 Latino. Culturally, it's different than it would be in, let's say, Fort Lauderdale to the north, or the West Palm Beach or Hollywood. These are much whiter communities, and let's face it, that is the team plays in an area close. Sunrise is close to Fort Lauderdale. It takes about an hour to drive to downtown Miami from here, with the freeways. Even when traffic's pretty good, it's about an hour. So it gives you an idea. It's almost, I think, comparable for the fans in Ottawa. They would understand watching the Senators out in Canada. That it's similar to the Panthers being out in Sunrise in relation to the core of the city, to where the team plays. So because of that, you don't see a lot of jerseys. I've seen a few Panthers license plates. It's and of course it's so hot out. No one's going to wear a hockey jersey when it's 95 Fahrenheit and 80% humidity outside. So I see a lot of fans, they'll put them on in the parking lot, right? They as they're getting into the arena, because it's just too hot to wear them otherwise. So it is a very, very, there is a passionate fan base. They're selling out games, and the demographics change. There's so many people that have moved to Florida from the northern United States, especially over the last couple of years. It's the fastest growing state in the United States, and a lot of that migration is coming from Minnesota, from Chicago, from New York. So there are hockey fans coming in as well. The team is doing fine. They sell tickets. They're doing great. It's just that it's not like being in Edmonton. There's not a wall of red and gold everywhere. You don't just see it in all the shop windows. You don't see it everywhere. It's not like in Edmonton, where it's almost like the Christmas season right now. So many people are taking time off work, and you almost don't know what day of the week it is. You just kind of know that it's a game night, and it just feels very festive, and you just can't shake it. It's not part of the cultural fabric of the city down here, like the Oilers are part of the cultural fabric. And I've always compared, and I've done this for a long time, Edmonton is like I think I've said this before, the Green Bay of the NHL. It's part of the fabric. The Oilers are the fabric of the city.
Absolutely. Well, one thing that is definitely part of the culture down in Florida and Miami specifically is the roller hockey culture. We know the NHL is planning outdoor games next year, Stephen. I don't know how that's going to work. It's going to be very interesting to see. But in the meantime, you can play roller hockey year-round in the state. But how has that sort of influenced the hockey culture in that area?
It's really interesting. When I found out I was going to be down here for a whole week with the games being what they are, with the spread out schedule, I started looking, just like searching different types of hockey in the area, and I found Miami roller hockey and called and said, I'd love to come down and check out a game night, see what it's like. And you know, it is in Miami, in South Miami, that they're playing in this court that they've leased from the county. And they play nightly, and they have this program. There's about 200 people registered, 200 adults registered, and then they have kids programs. They've got these beer kegs that they engrave the names of the winning teams on. They call it the Stuckey Cup, over the name for the person that originally founded that program in the 1990s. So it's great, but you know, the flavor of the game is very Latino. I just talked about that in being in Miami. You know, there are Cuban American roller hockey teams that they go and they play in tournaments, and there's also Cuban American ice hockey teams, and they go and play in tournaments against other Latin American teams. So some of those guys are involved in both. And I spoke with some of them, and they're all hardcore Panthers fans. Talked about the huge influence the Panthers had. But obviously, you know, it's not a place where ice is easily available. There's a few major like rinks that people go to for ice hockey or for what have you. But this is a different kind of thing where they can play on a regular basis. They really enjoy it. Roller hockey is 4-on-4. They just have such a good time. And this is a great way, they say, to introduce kids to the game. And in fact, the owners of the facility said the day after the Panthers won Game 3, there's 3 kids showed up, never seen before, said, we want to play. Can we play tonight? And they have a program. The kids are new. They give them some equipment, let them try it out. They wobble on the skates a bit, but they just got to get them in there. And so it shows that there is this really interesting counterculture. They serve Cuban coffee for the parents, and the kids are playing, which is extremely strong coffee served with a lot of sugar. They pour it over sugar and they froth it up. So it does have that really interesting influence, and it was really great to spend an evening with them and watch the games and talk to people and really understand that hockey, as AJ Artiles, who's one of the owners of the facility, said, you know, hockey's universal, and hockey should be universal. And that this was like, you know, it was really great to see. And it's a really warm welcome for me coming from Edmonton and spending time with them. And it was really wonderful.
Yeah, it sounds amazing. It doesn't hurt, of course, with the way the Panthers are playing, and adding another Stanley Cup will only help the growth of the game in that area. Stephen, appreciate the time as always, and thanks for doing it.
All right, thank you.